10 terrifying urban legends that will haunt you. Number 1. The bathroom ghost occurs behind closed doors. Bathrooms are meant to be places of privacy and peace. But for some, they hold a terrifying secret. The legend of the bathroom ghost is widespread in many cultures, and it's said to be an entity that haunts public restrooms, particularly late at night. The ghost is said to be the spirit of a woman who suffered a violent death, often at the hands of a lover or unknown assailant. One common version of the legend tells of a woman who was murdered in a restroom, her body left abandoned in the stall. Some believe that her spirit still roams the bathrooms, appearing to those who use the facilities after dark. In one particularly chilling report, a woman in Japan entered a public restroom at night. The moment she stepped inside, she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Her heart raced as she used the bathroom, but when she looked up to wash her hands, she saw something that made her blood run cold. In the mirror, there was a woman standing right behind her. Her reflection was pale, with empty, hollow eyes. The woman's lips barely moved, but she whispered, "You are the next one." Terrified, the woman fled, but she never stopped hearing that whisper. The bathroom ghost has been reported in multiple countries, always the same story, always the same chilling warning. If you ever find yourself alone in a bathroom late at night and feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, get out. The ghost is closer than you think. Number 2. The hooded man, a shadow in the night. In every town, there's a story about a shadow that haunts the streets at night. The figure that appears suddenly, without warning. The hooded man. This urban legend tells of a tall figure, always seen cloaked in a dark, tattered hoodie, standing motionless in the shadows. He doesn't speak. He doesn't move. He just watches. One of the most terrifying reports of the hooded man came from a couple driving through a quiet, rural town late at night in 2010. As they passed an abandoned building, they saw him standing by the side of the road. The eerie part. The couple later realized the man was completely still, not breathing, not blinking, and not reacting to their headlights. After passing the figure, they didn't think much of it. But when they turned the corner, the hooded man was now standing in the middle of the road, blocking their path. They slammed on the brakes, but by the time they looked again, he was gone. The couple never reported seeing him again. But they say that the figure's eyes, hidden beneath the hood, were deep black voids staring into their souls. No one knows who or what the hooded man is. Some say he's a ghost, a spirit who wanders the earth, while others claim he's an omen. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain: if you see him, you are not safe. Number 3. The smiling man, a nightmare in the streets. Imagine walking alone at night. The streets are empty, the air is still, and the only sound is the soft echo of your footsteps. Then, from a distance, you see someone, a tall, thin man dressed in an old-fashioned suit. He is walking strangely, almost dancing, taking exaggerated steps like he's in some kind of silent performance. Then, he stops and smiles. But it's not a normal smile. It's too wide, too unnatural, stretching across his face as if his skin is struggling to contain it. His eyes are locked onto yours, unblinking. He doesn't speak. He just watches. This is the smiling man. Reports of similar encounters have emerged over the years, always following the same pattern: a silent, grinning figure watching, following, moving in ways that defy human nature. Some believe he is an otherworldly entity, a being that thrives on fear. Others think he is a hallucination, a manifestation of deep-seated nightmares. But one thing is certain, if you ever see the smiling man, do not let him get too close. Number 4. The Midnight Game, a deadly ritual. Some games are meant to be played for fun. Others should never be played at all. The Midnight Game is one of the most infamous urban legends involving a supernatural ritual that, if performed correctly, summons a dark entity known as the Midnight Man. From that moment, you must keep moving. If your candle flickers and goes out, you have 10 seconds to relight it. If you fail, the Midnight Man is near. Some say if the Midnight Man catches you, he will torture you with your worst fears until the game ends. Others believe he marks you, ensuring you will never be alone again. Would you dare play? Number 5. The Man in the Window Watching from the Dark. It starts with a feeling. That uneasy sensation that someone is watching you. Maybe it's just your imagination. Maybe it's nothing. But then you look toward your window and see him. A man. Standing perfectly still. Watching. Reports of the man in the window have surfaced for decades. People who have seen him claim that once you notice him, he starts getting closer. If you see him once, he will come again. And each time, he gets closer. Number 6. The Whistler, a sound you should never follow. It begins with a whistle. A soft, distant tune carried by the wind in the dead of night. At first, it seems harmless, just someone whistling in the distance. But as the sound grows closer, a chilling realization sets in. No one is there. If you ever hear whistling at night, never follow it. And whatever you do, don't whistle back. Number 7. The Elevator Game, a doorway to another world. Would you ever step into an elevator alone at night and press the buttons in a certain sequence, knowing it might take you somewhere unnatural? People who claim to have played the game describe the otherworldly floor as dark, lifeless, and eerily silent. The hardest part isn't getting there. It's getting back. Number 8. The Black-Eyed Children, Nightmare at Your Doorstep. They knock on your door late at night. They ask to come inside. They look like children, but something is wrong. Their eyes are completely black. If you ever encounter them, never let them in. Number 9. The Lady in White, a Haunted Bride. Legends of ghostly women in white dresses have appeared worldwide. They are often seen near highways, standing by the roadside, waiting for someone to stop. If you ever see her, drive away. Number 10. The Rake, a creature from nightmares. A pale, humanoid figure with hollow eyes and long, clawed fingers. It crawls. It whispers. It watches. The Rake is real. And it is always waiting.